What's up, motorheads, and welcome back to Gearbox Pizza. So as you probably know, the used car market is in fuego. So being the kind skeleton people we are here at Gearbox, we decided to round up all the mega expensive and super rare rides that caught our attentions while we look back on that crazy month of January. So look, buckle up. We're going to take a close look at the insanity that is the high-end auction car market. All right, first up, let's cover the top sales of the month and hold on to your hats. This January saw a 61% increase in total dollar volume compared to last January. We're looking at $382 million in sales. And Arizona Auction Week just wrapped up, and compared to 2020, sales were up 22%, even though they had a third fewer vehicles to sell. And that's nuts. Anyways, look, we got some cool stuff to cover, so get comfy. Alright, so let's cover the top 5 auctions of the month. And we're starting off with an honorable mention right out of the gate, and this one's cool though. So Chevy auctioned off the first retail 2023 Z06 Corvette, that's right, VIN number 001, at Bear Jackson's Scottsdale auction. And while this thing's pretty damn sweet and brought in $3.6 million bucks, and since it's a charity auction, we thought, hey, it kinda deserves a special spot on our list. So here it is. Alright, so coming in at number 5 is the legendary 2005 Porsche Carrera GT. Oh, and this one's got 250 miles on it. And it sold for a whopping $2 million. Yes, $2 million bucks. And get this, the very same car sold in 2018 for like $900K. So that's a $1.1 million net gain in a few years for just parking this thing in your garage and just kicking back and waiting, right? So I don't know though, it's kind of sad to see a beast of a machine like this with only 250 miles on it. And now it's definitely way too expensive to drive. So it's just gonna live in some rich dude's air-conditioned car barn forever, which kind of sucks, but whatever, let's keep going. Alright, next up and straight out of the Great Gatsby is this 1929 Duesenberg Model J. And check this out, it sold for just under $2.3 million. So this beauty is left-hand drive, and check out those white walls with those almost too good to be true, just awesome teardrop flared fenders, right? And I don't know, like, I've never really been into like this gold, but I don't know, this gold paint, well, I don't know, is this champagne actually? Whatever, I love this thing, and she's a head turner, but she's not the only Duesenberg on the list, so let's keep this rolling. Next up, in number 3 on our list, we've got a Benzo, and talking about a 1964 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Roadster, which went for a pretty cool $2.3 million bucks at Sotheby's. She's got just shy of 50,000 miles on her and has been completely restored inside and out to original spec. And man, that blue with the top off on the PCH, no traffic. Now we're talking. All right, look, no traffic on the PCH. That's not even possible in my fantasy. That's just crazy. Alright, so number 2 on the list is going to look a little bit familiar. Yep, we got another Duesenberg Model J, but this one's a drop top. So this beauty was manufactured 2 years later than the other fella on our list, so we're going to see some design changes here. That front fairing, well, it opens up to reveal these pretty dope exhaust pipes, which we kind of love. And the back fenders get tightened up a bit, probably to make room for that just gigantic canvas top. Oh, so this one went for over $3 million bucks. So if you like riding with the top down and you'd love to film your very own vintage Grey Poupon commercial, this might be the Model J for you. Oh, although that might be a Rolls Royce for the commercial. Oh, whatever.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course, Grey Poupon.
And on to number 1, the king of the castle, the coolest kid in the Cool Kids Club. Talking about this 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, and damn, the things I would do to... Never mind. Anyway, this beauty sold for $6.8 million bucks, completely restored to the original, and I just no denying it, this thing is a beauty. And look, as crazy as it sounds, I'd be willing to bet that the prices on these are just going to keep going up and up and up, and yeah, it'll make it way harder to ever see these things in the wild. It's just gonna end up in some rich dude's mega garage and we're never gonna see it again. Man, this thing's starting to bum me out. Alright, so there were plenty of winners there, but it wouldn't be an auction unless occasionally somebody just gets a little bit hosed. And So let's take a look at the 3 biggest flops in January. The cars that went to auction and actually lost money. All right, so first up, we have this 1965 custom Volkswagen Microbus. And this Type 2 21 window deluxe bus is gonna have its owner questioning their entire place in the universe because this thing sold for a loss of 105 grand. That's right, 35% tank job after 5 years. And look, yeah, I mean, this thing's as cool as microbuses get and all, but yo, let's take a step back for a second. We were talking about mid 6-figure love buses here. I mean, this might be a perfect example of just how nutty the car market is. And it's even crazier to think that this thing sold for over 300 grand in 2017. I don't know, maybe it's me, that's nuts. All right, next up, we got this 2017 Ford GT 66 Heritage Edition. God, that does not roll off the tongue, does it? Anyway, so this is an interesting Ford GT, and it's probably worth its own video, but the real heartbreaker here, not only did this thing lose 110 grand, but the guy, well, or gal, they only put 6 miles on it in their ownership. And that comes out to like $16,000 a mile, and that's not including the price of gas. Man, I mean, this is what happens when art investors get involved in our car market. And again, this thing only has a total of 36 miles on it, over 5 years, and 36 miles. Look, I get it, it's super valuable and all that, but man, if you're this rich, buy 2. Keep one in that nitrogen bubble in the car barn, and then just drive the crap out of the other one. This is getting frustrating. And the number 1 biggest flop of January 2022, that is besides my New Year's resolutions, is this 2014 McLaren P1, which went up for auction and lost 115,000 bucks from its original or earlier auction price. Ouch. And look, you ever heard of the McLaren F1? Ever checked that resale value? Look, the P1's pretty sick, man. Just hold on to it. Don't sell it. Sleep in it. Do whatever you got to do. Just don't sell it. All right, you sold it. Enjoy the cash, you'll be fine. Look, it's all good. I will say this though, at least somebody had a little bit of fun in this thing because it's got like over 2,000 miles on it, which is just a ton of miles and compared to all these other cars, so that part's cool. All right, motorheads, that about does it. A little shout out to Classit.com for providing the majority of the info we shared with you today. Go check them out, do some pretend shopping like I do all the time instead of working or whatever. All right, we're gonna do this more often, so if you dig it, hit that sub button so you can always get the latest and, well, sort of greatest from Gearbox Pizza. Talk to you soon, we're out.